Hey everybody, talking titles. Thanks for joining me. A film discussion review here today. Cookie and I will be talking about Mold. You breathe, you die. That's the tagline there. It stars Edward X. Young and Artis Campbell, Lawrence George as well. This is kind of an attempt at a throwback to the film like Street Trash of the 80s. As it says here, outrageous, zany, and gory. It's set in the 80s during the war on drugs, and the beginning of the film starts off with some Ronald Reagan clips, and it sets kind of the scene for what is to come here in Mold. Now, well, first off, I'm presenting you here, this is the DVD cover, and inside you have this insert that I think tells the story a little better. This is the insert. I think this should have been the cover, but it's, you know, that cartoonish exploitation type of photo that I think goes along better with this particular film as opposed to the cover that's already there. Another tagline for this says, "This isn't science, it's murder." So what you have here is a story set in, you know what, let's go ahead and make that the cover for now. How about that? Maybe that'll paint the picture better for you folks. I actually did that myself, but put it back in as the insert. So we have a story set here in 1984, and what happens is these particular scientists are developing a mold to go ahead and put on different drug plants and stuff like that, so that the mold eats these plants, and then there you go. War on drugs is over because all the drugs are gone. They have this mold on them, so they're gone, unusable. And you have these scientists are part of a meet and greet type of situation with some military staff that are taking a look at, you know, what the progress is on this particular mold in this isolated lab area. Now, it's clearly a low-budget film, and the setting in this lab area, you can tell it's really only in 2, 3, 4 rooms that this film kind of takes place. There are some outdoor shots and stuff like that towards the end, but overall, you have this film taking place in a couple of different rooms in this lab out in the middle of nowhere in the desert. And as they're kind of greeting these military folk, they're setting them up for like a little reception after taking a look at the mold and what it can do. And there is a state senator that is present during this particular meet and greet session, and things quickly get out of hand as far as the mold. I still don't know, to be honest, how the mold actually got out. It did get out through their protective suits. I believe, as you'll find a little bit on why, but you don't really see how it actually got out. It just gets out, and that's when things start to get interesting. The story tends to go ahead and meander a little bit. I think they could have gotten things wrapped up, or at least to the point of where things get out of control, a lot faster. It is only an 86-minute long film, but to me it seems a little longer than that. It drags on a little bit. And as far as the outrageous, zany, and gory stuff goes, I was a little bit disappointed at the beginning, but towards the end things do kind of ramp up a little bit. Like I said, for the beginning it just kind of drags. The dialogue is kind of flat a little bit. But the acting is okay for a low-budget film. I think that the actors and actress that are playing the parts, for the most part, they fit their roles well, and they do a good job of presenting these particular characters. With that being said, you have this, again, set in 1984. Aside from the opening where you get the Ronald Reagan clips and them kind of telling you as part of the story, it doesn't really feel that it's set in the 1980s. I mean, I guess it does, because it was set up that way, and you're told. I mean, I guess it could be the 1980s, but there's really no other indicators that it could be 1990s. It could be the year 2000s. Small things here and there kind of allude to that, but overall, it, being set in a couple of different rooms, you don't really get the full picture. You don't really get a full 1980s experience. So that disappointed me a little bit, but as I said, that's more the beginning where it kind of drags on and left me a little bit disappointed, especially when you get things saying on the back, the stuff meets street trash, mold excels with honors, and outrageous, zany, and gory. When you get something like that, it had me a little bit excited, but as I said, the end kind of gets a little more punch to it as far as low budget horror, gore, sci-fi type of stuff. And as this mold spreads out, it turns one military guy into like a type of a zombie almost, because he ends up getting it all over him. And there is a little twist in this where, well, I'm not going to give the twist away, but there is a little twist in this a little bit towards the end, and you find out, was this experiment really a true experiment that was going to be followed through with, or was it an experiment for the particular people that were working on it? So there's a lot going on here as far as what's really going on, and of course you can talk about it being some government commentary on this and stuff like that. But overall, I give this title a 6 out of 10 or a 3 out of 5. That's where I'm going with it. Like I said, the beginning kind of left me a little bit disappointed, but if you're a fan of low-budget horror, some mild gore, and sci-fi type of moments like Street Trash, I mean, just because you maybe you didn't like Street Trash, you still might like this. I think that's probably maybe a hard film to compare it to, because Street Trash, at least my opinion, was a fantastic film for what it was. So this doesn't really live up to it, but it has some potential as far as low budget horror, sci-fi, and I certainly do recommend checking it out, especially looking at the cover here. Like I said, this cover I think would make me want to see it too, and I do a lot by looking at covers. Mostly in music, if I see a cover I like, I'll check it out based upon the cover as far as music goes. But as far as films go, it's not necessarily that way. But there's a couple of films that I've seen the covers, and they were reversible covers. And the one cover I saw, I said, I'm not really feeling that particular film. And then I ended up seeing the reversible cover at a later point. I thought it was a totally different film. Here I realized that it's a reversible cover. Had I seen the original cover, or at least the other side of the cover, I may have been more interested in it. So sometimes it works for me in films. But this definitely, I really think that this poster insert or alternative cover really tells a better story of what you're going to expect with mold. So if you take a look at that cover and you're interested in this particular film, you can go ahead and pick it up. Now it is out, and it was released on Wild Eye. Has some bonus features, commentary behind the scenes. Behind the scenes stuff is pretty cool. So if you want to check this out, it is available now. And again, I'll give it a 3 out of 5 or a 6 out of 10 for Mold. And appreciate you joining me here on this discussion of Mold here on Talking Titles. And let me know if you saw it, what you think. And maybe some pointers that you felt I missed on this particular discussion, or some points that you want to make about how good or bad this film was. Go ahead and leave it in the comments, and hope you'll tune in again soon here at Talking Titles.